from Newsweek by way of MSN. Letitia James's assistant may face charge of criminal tampering. How is this constantly happening? You want to come after the president, you have to keep your hands clean, and they just can't do it. An assistant to New York Attorney General Letitia James may face a misdemeanor criminal charge for vandalism. Assistant Attorney General Stacey Hamilton may be facing a charge of third-degree criminal tampering for allegedly damaging a neighbor's car by throwing an unknown liquid on it in November, according to the Times-Union. So, I mean, just think about, these are the people that we're dealing with. They're petulant children, they're criminals, they are vandalizing cars while trying to get the orange man, and they want us to take them seriously. Hamilton's attorney reported, okay, so the assistant to the DA, her attorney, right? Okay. Her attorney reportedly accused the office of Albany County District Attorney David Soares of unfair treatment. And they will never tell you what that is. Unfair treatment? Oh, we got into an argument one day. And this is wild. Although an unassociated special prosecutor was assigned to the case. I mean, the levels of this weirdo bureaucracy is just nonstop. The context. Okay, so Newsweek wants to make sure that we have the full context of why the assistant to the corrupt New York AG could be involved in a crime, a low-level crime, fair enough, but it's just like, they're so petty. Vandalizing a car? But let's get the context. The office of James has been thrown into the national spotlight in recent years for investigating the alleged wrongdoings of former President Donald Trump, culminating in a recently successful business fraud lawsuit against the ex-president that ended in a judgment of over $464 million, which of course was later lowered to $175, all for an absolute, it was a scam from the beginning. Judge Engoron, she literally ran on it. We saw the clips.
To people who say, oh, I'm not going to bother to register to vote because my voice doesn't make a difference, or I'm just one person.
I say one name, Donald Trump. That should motivate you. Get off your ass and vote.
Will you sue him for us?
Oh, we're going to definitely sue him. We're going to be a real pain in the ass. He's going to know my name personally.
He built his wealth off the backs of New Yorkers.
We need to focus on Donald Trump and his abuses. We need to follow his money. Challenge this illegitimate president when our fundamental rights are at stake.
We know all about it, and then she comes up with this astronomical made-up number, all while her own assistant is engaged in petty vandalism. However, the purported charge against Hamilton is entirely unrelated to Trump, instead involving an alleged dispute or incident between the assistant attorney general and her neighbor. So, of course, all right, fine, it has nothing to do with Trump, but how can you expect this type of character to just go after Trump for all of the crimes? And we saw it left and right. Oh, Donald Trump is broke. He doesn't have any money, which makes the plan even worse than it initially was, right? So put him in jail. We know we can't actually do that because there's no crimes committed, but at least we can try to break him, literally, drain all of his cash, and then he bounces back from that. They can't stand it. And for this woman to be such a petulant, look, there's levels to this, obviously. There's the Pelosi, Newsom, Bo Biden is on a level of his own, but the evil tier and then the stupid tier. And this woman, I guess, just falls into plain old stupid. Same thing with Tiffany Henyard, Big Fat Furious, Fannie Pack Willis. They get so in their head, they think they are untouchable because we're told that no one is above the law.
No one, not even the president, is above the law.
Got that? No one is above the law. Explain the very same people who spent all day making excuses for illegitimate government spying on American citizens. But never mind. Literally, no one is above the law. Watch.
No one is above the law, not even the President of the United States.
Nobody is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law.
No one is above the law, not even the President of the United States.
No one's above the law.
No one is above the law.
That no person is above the law.
Nobody should be above the law.
Nobody should be above the law, including the President of the United States.
Except for obviously them. Hamilton, who has worked for multiple state government agencies in the Empire State, denied to the Times that she had been charged with any crime, purportedly telling the paper's reporter over the phone that they really need to actually do some investigating. Well, that's not true, right? They don't want you to do any investigating at all. Asking one single question is enough to turn you into the enemy. What we know. Court documents cited by the Times allege that Hamilton doused a neighbor's car with unknown liquids on November 16th. The neighbor later filed a vandalism complaint with the police, saying that the liquid had damaged the paint on the vehicle. Hamilton's lawyer, Kevin Gagan, told the paper that the girlfriend of the car's owner had assaulted the assistant attorney general on the same night. So there was a petty fight. They might have been drunk. Who knows what the hell is going on over there? There was a petty fight between two neighbors, all while she wants to be taken seriously as the assistant to the fraudulent district attorney general. Excuse me. Hamilton's lawyer, Gagan, told the paper that the girlfriend of the car's owner had assaulted the assistant attorney general on the same night of the alleged vandalism incident. The girlfriend is purportedly facing a misdemeanor charge of assault. So this, to me, really sounds like a drunken night out by a woman who's also involved in trying to take down Trump. I mean, it gets no sillier than a fight and then you, splashing a car with paint remover or whatever, unknown liquid. Gagan claimed the vandalism complaint was fabricated to get Hamilton arrested and to, wait, so are you suggesting that maybe there's somebody out there that just wants to have you arrested, just wants to get you in trouble? The levels of irony are just beyond me. And get into the papers to embarrass her so that she would drop the criminal case against this guy's girlfriend. That's the whole case. Okay, so she says it's fabricated, but if you were to say that about her case against Trump, that would be completely off base. This is a mess. He also claimed that the office of Soros was pulling the strings behind this due to maybe some personal animosity between them, a former co-worker of Hamilton who works in the office. Yeah, so a petty fight between people that don't like each other and lobbing lawsuits and vandalism. Who could have thought? The office is not involved in the purported prosecution of Hamilton and told the paper that there was, quote, absolutely no truth to the claims of behind-the-scenes manipulation by any member of our office. They didn't do it, of course. Views. After purportedly being asked about a court document citing the tampering charge, Hamilton told the Times-Union over the phone on Thursday, "You clearly require some investigation and some update in your knowledge, because the document did not mean she was charged with something." Okay, you didn't do your research. You're so stupid. It's a piece of paper. Do you understand what do you understand what words mean? Wow. The smug nature of this is through the roof. And of course, they are constantly changing the meanings of words. So no, these people need to explain exactly what they mean, because they are constantly changing the definition of words and then pretending and then bashing people for not understanding what the words mean, all while trying to take down the orange man and also being involved in a petty high school type of fight. Absolutely wild. I understand what's written on a piece of paper. If you do anything else with false information further than asserting it to me on the phone, you better be real careful. Newsweek reached out for comment to the office of James via email on Friday. What's next? Hamilton had reportedly been set to appear in court over the alleged vandalism on Thursday, before City Court Judge John Riley rescheduled the date for April 17th. If the Assistant Attorney General is charged and convicted of third-degree criminal tampering, she could face up to 90 days in jail. So obviously, this isn't a huge crime, which is, I mean, you kind of expect them to be doing something way worse, and they probably are, like some weird money laundering scam, scheme, tax fraud, something they got going on. But this is just to let people know how petty these folks really are.
Will you sue him for us?
Oh, we're going to definitely sue him. We're going to be a real pain in the ass. He's going to know my name personally.
In addition to Hamilton, James's wild Mean Girls assistant, there's also this story: an Irish society, an unpaid loan, and the hypocrisy of Letitia James. And of course, like I mentioned, obviously there are bigger scams than a little bit of petty vandalism. And this is kind of a weird, diluted story. But the point here is she's basically, well, we all knew that she was a hypocrite, but they make the point here, or Miranda Devine, who does pretty good work for the New York Post, she sums it up quite well, or one of the people involved in the story sums it up quite well, saying, this organization fraudulently inflated the value of their building to induce my client into giving them a mortgage, which Tish James is now trying to help these fraudsters avoid having to repay. The theory of fraud Tish James accused the Trump organization of engaging in is identical to the fraud she is aiding and abetting here. And of course there's this, again from Newsweek: Donald Trump has grounds to sue Letitia James, Fox News guest. You can sue anything. You can make up whatever you want. Or you can, grab some statute from 100 years ago. You can literally sue a ham sandwich, as the old saying goes. But this, I believe, is because she went after Donald Trump after campaigning on it, but most notably saying, the entire administration is too male, too pale, and too stale.
Stand up to an administration which is too male, too pale, and too stale. Too male, too pale, and too stale. Too male, too pale, and too stale. And we will not go away.
We have to take them seriously at their word.